Hi, my name's Garry Bartlett. I'm presenting a paper on the placebo effect on upper and lower body strength, muscular strength and endurance. A bit of background for the introduction. Performance enhancing substances are widely used by athletes of all levels in sports. At a professional level, have three sports here that have suffered from steroid use, Essendon in Australia, the Tour de France in Europe, and Major League Baseball in America. At an amateur level, there's some studies from America, one of middle and high school aged boys in 2002, and one of college-aged men in varsity football in 1999. Both showed steroid usage rates at 5.4% and 6.3%. Quite significant at that age, you'd think. There might be a need to dissuade people from using steroids. This is where the placebo effect might be useful. One approach is being taken to examine the placebo effect on sports performance in the hope that if an athlete can see improvements through the development of their own mental skills, then they may be less inclined to use steroids. Some definitions for posterity's sake. The placebo effect is any substance or procedure given to a participant that is thought to be inert, therefore should not produce any physiological or psychological benefits. When the placebo induces a genuine physiological or psychological effect that is not due to its inherent powers, this is a placebo effect. Now, the expectancy effect is one of the mechanisms of the placebo effect. Results in the placebo effect producing an effect because the participant expects it to. Verbal input can shape these conscious expectancies. This is sometimes called deception. Key studies on the placebo effect in weightlifting are Maganaris 2000 and Kalasuntas 2007. Maganaris increased strength in elite level powerlifters. The deception used was that the supplement they were taking was said to be anabolic steroids when in fact it was saccharin or a sugar tablet. In Kalasuntas, the deception used was the supplement was said to be a strong amino acid when in fact it was a sugar tablet, following the revelation that they stopped the participants taking the placebo completely. Both showed increases in strength in their relevant populations. Other key studies on the placebo effect in sports and athletics: Clark 2009 increased endurance in cyclists, McLung 2007 increased endurance in runners, Beattie 2007 increased aerobic capacity in their participants. Where does this study fit in? It hopes to further add to the literature on the placebo effect in sports and athletics performance, particularly on muscular strength and endurance. We're going to test another population. We're going to test college-age, recreationally active weightlifting men. It aims to elicit a placebo effect that manipulate expectancy rather than remove it in order to maintain performance gains. Let me explain that a bit more clearer. Other studies reveal that the supplement is in fact a placebo and then remove the placebo effect. We want to manage the expectancy effect in the hope that gains will be maintained over several time points. We believe that having strength or endurance gains over concurrent testing sessions rather than one-off testing sessions, this will provide a stronger argument against using performance-enhancing substances. Hypothesis 1 for this study is that eliciting the placebo effect will improve upper and lower body muscular strength and endurance. This just supports other research already done in the area. Supplementary to hypothesis 1 is hypothesis 2. Placebo-induced performance gains can be maintained by reducing expectancy. Methods: it's a within-group designed with repeated measures via 3 prime points of testing, baseline, trial 1 and trial 2. The tests for strength are 1 repetition max for bench press and squat, and endurance is maximum repetitions at 80% of 1 rep max for bench press and squat. The participants are 15 college-aged men who passed screening, as mentioned here. Statistical descriptions of the participants are in the table below. Here's a schematic design of the study. Pretty standard design here. We're going to do a familiarization session so the participants can get used to the exercises. At baseline 1, record the demographic information, record their baseline stats for the tests, give them a 3-day food diary. Then we're going to give them a supplement and tell them it is an amino acid that is very powerful and increases muscular strength and endurance. They'll be given an adherence sheet to say that they take the supplement during the gap between visits. On visit 3, we'll be recording trial 1 results. Following the testing, we will tell the participants that the supplement does not work. Please note, it's very important we do not tell them that it's not an amino acid. We just tell them that it's an amino acid that doesn't work. Hope to, by manipulating the expectancy, this is a key part of the study. And finally, on visit 4, we complete trial 2 testing. The results here are presented in means and standard deviations. Of note, support for hypothesis 2 in lower body strength and endurance. So squat, you see 97 kilograms for baseline testing, 1 rep max, improved to 110, and then improvements were pretty much maintained. Post hoc testing, dependent t-test with a Bonferroni correction showed no statistical significance between trial 1 and trial 2. Similar results were recorded for endurance in 80% of 1 rep max for squat repetitions. Data was not so significant for upper body strength and endurance. Here's a visual display of the data. This is lower body squat results, strength on the left, endurance on the right. You can see visually, you can see an improvement from baseline to test trial 1 and a maintenance of that level in trial 2. Same for endurance. Results don't look too far off for bench press strength, but it should be noted that post hoc testing, we conducted a dependent t-test with a Bonferroni correction between trial point 1 and 2, and there was a statistically significant difference in the results. And there was results did not reach statistical significance in the endurance for bench press. Okay, hypothesis 1, there was strong support for the placebo effect being able to increase strength and endurance in college-aged, recreationally active males. 3 of the 4 tests showed statistically significant results from baseline to trial 1 time points. This supports findings of other research in the area. Nothing new here. Of more interest is the supplementary hypothesis that strength and endurance gains were maintained after expectancy was manipulated in 2 of the 4 tests, mainly in lower body. Somewhat supports our hypothesis with only statistically significant results in lower body strength and endurance from baseline to trial 2. Upper body tests did not reach any statistical significance. The expectancy effect is one of the key mechanics of the placebo effect. There are 2 main types of expectancy. Outcome expectancy is the opinion that a particular treatment will lead to a particular outcome, and the response expectancy refers to the subject's own response to the intervention. Outcome expectancy would be relevant from prior to trial 1, response expectancy would be relevant to prior to trial 2 testing. Despite receiving credible information that the amino acid is ineffective, how do the participants' own altered expectancies regarding the efficacy of the amino acid have an effect? This might be a self-efficacy link. Self-efficacy describes the ability one has to execute a certain task to achieve a certain outcome. Better response expectancy has been linked to better self-expectancy. The strongest form of self-efficacy is performance accomplishment. So trial 1, lifting heavier weights, maintained to trial 2. Future research. This study could have benefited from a larger sample size as well as a control group to account for any training adaptations that might have happened. Additional time points. So trial 3 and 4 would have been interesting to see if gains were sustained. Getting participants to also self-rate their expectancies of the amino acids of efficacy at each time point on a visual scale, for example, would have made the findings more convincing. In conclusion, it appears possible to maintain placebo-induced performance gains by manipulating the participants' expectancy rather than removing the placebo effect entirely. The potential for this to become a training intervention aimed at demonstrating the worth of improving mental skills in order to curtail interest in illegal or unhealthy performance-enhancing substances such as steroids. Performance gains from expectancy and efficacy effects over concurrent testing sessions heed a stronger message than one-off gains from other deceptive measures. Practical implications, we view this as becoming a pretty useful training intervention to help enlighten weightlifters to understand their mental powers. A possible methodology would be after eliciting a placebo effect. We could shift from an outcome expectancy to a response expectancy, and finally to increase self-efficacy to achieve the gains and maintain them. We think this is a valid and reliable method of improving performance. Finally, the references. Thank you very much.